Hello, everyone, and welcome to session 2 wrap up. In this video, I'm going to cover a few topics. This will be a review of session 1 and a review of session 2 as we prepare for session 3. The video from the live workshop that we did on Monday did not work very well. So this video will cover everything that you might have missed. It will completely catch you up. I'm going to do my best to keep it under 30 minutes, but this is where we're going to start. Session 2 is all about automating content, having a social media content strategy so that you're not just posting consistently on one platform, but that you have a way to automate posting to multiple platforms. So this is where we're going to start. This is a visual that I created um, I can't remember what this is called now. Freeform. This is called Freeform. I have Apple, I have a Mac, and an iPhone, and so it's on both of those. But there's all types of mind mapping tools that you can use. But what I want you to look at here, we'll start on the left-hand side. And what we're doing with this social media content strategy is actually creating content based on products. So this 30-day program, the Weekend Startup, we're focused on you launching an app or an agent or some kind of product. And we want to create content that's going to lead people to this product. So for me, I have 3 different products. You might only have one, and that's perfectly fine. You definitely want to be focused. So one product is great. I wouldn't have much more than 3, but this is just to show you what my plan looks like. So you start with your products, and then you want to create content pillars. So these are the 3 Ps. We have product, pillar, problem. So we talked about the content pillars in our 30-day challenge a couple of months ago, and these are content themes that are going to be related to your product. Now, these themes will be broken down into smaller topics, of course, but it's good to have an overall pillar. Now, if we move on here, this part is very, very important, and it's the part that most people skip. And it's really understanding what the problem is that your product is solving. If you can focus your content on the problem, then it's going to get you much, much further. Okay, so these are the 3 levels that we want to create here. And then these are all of the different social media platforms that I'm focused on building on. So we have Medium here, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and X. I don't think I'm missing any. Now, this section over here, this is really important. This is now our content repurpose system. So what I do here is I take what we call our anchor pieces. And actually, I'm going to show you this part first, because this is the strategy that we're using. So we're spending 1 week making anchor content. And what is anchor content? Those are the biggest pieces of content at the first level of repurpose. So what I mean by that is, let's say, you're hosting a space and it's an hour-long space, or let's say you watch a 30-minute YouTube video, or any sort of big content that then you break down into another piece of big content. And that piece of big content we call anchor content. That anchor content is your first level of repurposing whatever the original content is. So for instance, it could be a guide, it could be an ebook, a workshop series, threads. These are big pieces that you can break down. Okay, and again, we call those anchor pieces. Now, each of these anchor pieces of content are related to the column above. And now this is how it relates to the content repurpose system, is that we're breaking these pieces down. So instead of doing a bunch of articles and then they just go off into oblivion, we want to take that anchor piece, something like a course, an ebook, or you might be starting at the level of an article or a newsletter. You can start at any of these levels. It's really about what you can break it down to. So if you start at level 2, maybe it's a long form post, a blog. What else can you do with it? Can you extend it to make it an article? Can you extend it to make it a newsletter post? Can you extend it to make it an ebook? Can you break it down into a video short or a short form post? And then what kind of images do you have with that and other digital assets? So this is a big part of what we're learning in session 2, because in order to build our personal brand MVP, which is where we're going in session 3, we have to get the content piece down. Many of us still aren't even posting consistently daily. So this is a system that assures you have content every day to post. So we'll talk more about that in this session, but just a couple of other things I wanted to review with you. We are going to talk more about Buffer. I'm going to give you a tour, spend a few minutes showing you how to use it, but I just want to remind you of these two tools that are very powerful, very important for our content creation system process. They're both Chrome extensions and they both have websites. So Buffer is a social media tool. These are all the things you can do with it. One of the things I love about Buffer is that you can save content and plan content while you're not in the site. So maybe you're reading an article or watching a video, you can send information to Buffer, which is really nice. They have great integrations, a great idea board. You can have your team on there. It's a really great tool. And then we're also going to do a review of Glasp, which is a great highlighter tool, gives you transcriptions, summaries. Both of these are incredible tools. So the next part of the video, we are going to expand our command center. So that'll be part 2. In part 3, we'll actually get into the Buffer guide. Hi, everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to finish building your command center. So we started building the command center with the Para system. And if you haven't done that, I have a template for you. And I also want to show you how to add on your calendar so that you can start creating your content calendar system. Now, before we get into that, I just want to highlight, this is email number 3, closing up session 1. You want to make sure that you have done this before to even get into session 2. You will need to complete the exit ticket. There's just a couple of things I want to highlight here. First of all, I've started a new founder interview series, and I've included some videos here with our pros. I'd love to have you in one of these. If you're interested in being interviewed, please reach out. I will send you a link so that we can set that up. Also, you can see an example here of me actually taking this video that I did with Justin in the interview, and I started turning it into an ebook. So this is what I mean by going from content like a video. I took the transcript, and this is the anchor piece. So if you want to see an example of this, that's what's here. I also talk about having an accountability partner. If you don't have an accountability partner yet, please let me know so that I can help you partner up with someone. This is going to be really important. So if you have questions, you need, please come to the group chat and use your accountability partner. Reach out to the pros, because we really want to get you caught up and make sure that you understand what's going on. Everything is going to be an email. So far I've sent 3 emails. This is email 4. That's a part of this video now, but you'll want to make sure that in every email you are looking for any deliverables. So this one has an exit ticket. In order to move on to session 2, you will need to have completed the exit ticket. Now, what I really want to point your attention to is this template, okay? And you'll see all the different content from both sessions. You'll see the overview. This video is a part of session 2. It's the wrap up for session 2 before we move on to session 3, personal brand planner. But for now, we're going to just click on this link and go right into the command center template. Okay, so this is the command center template that was shared with you in email number 3. So this is a Notion template, which means that you can download it, you can edit it, you can add what you want to it. So in my own command center, I have a few different databases. I started with you all with the Para database, which I highly recommend. So we'll take a moment here just kind of talking about the Para database, and then I want to show you how to add a couple of other useful databases, but really anything that you want to make sure that you can see every day easily, that's what the command center is for. Now, Para is a project management, life management system by Tiago Forte. He's the one that came up with the second brain system as well. And so this is what Notion calls a gallery database. And if you click on the name of it, you can always change the type of database that you're looking at by editing the view. And there's a few different types here. If we go to layout, you'll see all the different types of databases. It's really just about the design, functionality. So this is gallery. You can also do a table, list, calendar, timeline board. Today we're going to do a calendar database. We're going to add that, and then we'll also add a list or a table database. But for Para, we are breaking up our entire life content into these 4 areas. We have our projects, and if we click on projects, Tiago says most people have anywhere from 15, 25, 30 projects. So think of these as both the big projects that you're working on, but also the smaller projects. And again, this is a template, so you can change it however you would like to, but this is for projects. I'm using a board database. Okay, so the thing I like about the board database is that you can, add progress indicators. You can move pages around here, which is really nice. So once you've started something, you can just pull the page, bring it over, which is great. So this is the projects tab. And I do have a video where I go into this in a lot more detail. I also did a thread on it. So this is just a quick overview, but this template is here. You can change the image. So if you want, of course, to customize the different images, okay, and you can, let's see, what would be the best way? I would say come in here and click replace. So you can replace any of these images. You can upload a new image. You can go to Unsplash, which is where I found the image. And so that's how you can do that. Okay, so if we scroll down, areas is meant to be for your life. So all areas of your life. This should say, I'm not sure why it says personal again, so I'm going to go ahead and change this because really I like for this to be personal, professional, but you choose how you organize this, but each page is an area of your life. Okay, and then we have, and this, by the way, that was a list. So I'm also showing you different databases. We also have the third part of Para, which is resources. So this is where you can, honestly, I haven't used this page as much. I need to use it more. But as you're collecting great guides and tools and apps, you can collect them here. Now, another thing to note about each of these databases and each of these pages is that you can add properties here. So if you want to add tags, you can do that in any of these databases. Just click the add property button to add other types of properties here. That's a little bit more advanced, but it definitely helps with organizing everything. Now for the resources database, I'm using table, but again, you can easily come in here and edit the view, or you can even add an additional view if you want to toggle back and forth between a couple of different views. Into it, it's archives. You can take a look. This is when you're done with the project, Tiago recommends that you put it in archives. Okay, so what we're going to do now is actually add in an additional database. So to start in Notion, we just want to get to a line like this. We'll do the / command, and that actually brings up the different commands here. And what we want is actually a database. So I'm just going to start typing database, and we want an inline. It probably doesn't recognize it, so I'm going to do it again. We want an inline database. Okay, so it's going to give us the database. Now we want here a calendar. So this is, I recommend you having a calendar database so that when you come in here to your command center, you know exactly what you're working on for your content. Everything is right here. So I'm going to change this layout to a calendar layout. And in my command center, I call this calendar the publish and ship calendar. You can call it whatever you would like. But as you can see, you have the entire calendar view here. And anytime you want to add a new post to the calendar, whether that's an article, a video, this is a great place to plan it and to store it and keep it as you're working on it, as it's in draft mode. You can always move it once you're done. But to do that, to add to any of the dates, you just hover over the date and you will see the plus sign come up. So you just click on the plus sign and this is going to open up a new page. So these are all pages, okay? And inside every page, you can have more databases, you can have text, you can make it as simple or as advanced as you want. And then each one you can even share because they can be turned into a web page, which is really nice. So that's how you add a new page. Because I didn't put anything, it's just here as untitled. So that's the calendar. I want you all to get into the habit of planning your content as far in advance as you can. And if you can create those larger pieces, like I said, maybe you spend a week or two or a weekend creating these larger pieces. Maybe you just do one large piece, an ebook, and then you take that ebook, it's 8 chapters, you break it up, you've got 8 articles, you've got blog posts. But this calendar is really here to help you plan and to visualize it, okay? And then I also recommend that you actually use Notion's calendar function because you can then add tasks to your calendar. You can see what's coming up for the day. So this is a really nice way to integrate the calendar into your overall project plan command center. The last database I want to show you, and you can add as many databases as you want in here. Again, this is your command center. So this is where you're coming in. All your content is here. Your projects are here. Your to-do lists are here. One of the databases that I started for myself, and I would recommend that you all consider, is a database to manage your subscriptions. So I'm calling this a subscription manager. Now, this is a table database. So I can just come in here and I am creating a page right now. What I'm typing in is the title of the page. So let's say for me, the first page is going to be Chat GPT Plus. Okay, so this is a subscription that I have. I can even create tags. So I'll call this AI. Okay, so I just typed AI and then I'm clicking create, and that'll create a new tag, which really helps to organize everything. I can add another column, which is me adding another property, and I can say, we could even say the cost. Okay, so how much am I paying for this? It's $20 per month. Okay. So that's just another type of database because I know a lot of us are spending a lot of money on AI tools. So maybe you want to have your subscription manager here. Maybe you want to have another property here with the due date. Okay. Um, so you know when the due date is for all of your different subscriptions, how much you're paying. I definitely recommend taking time to go through your bank account for the last month and just make sure that you actually need all your subscriptions. Now, these are 3 different databases, right? And then within each of these para databases is another database. So you have databases inside of databases. But this is the command center. You can, again, customize it however you'd like. This icon here, you can change anything. This is yours. You can even call it something different. Okay, but I hope you build this. It's helped me so much. This is my digital second brain. And again, it allows me to not just organize my content, but actually have a way to connect it and relate it as well. Hi, everyone. In this video, I am going to give you a quick tour of Buffer and also show you how to actually take content from your command center. So in the previous video, I showed you how to build your calendar, your para project-based system, all of that in Notion. And now I'm going to show you how you can actually use the Buffer Chrome extension, which is an amazing tool on top of Buffer, to actually send your content from your Notion database into Buffer, which is really nice. The first thing that you'll want to do is come to buffer.com/extensions and install the Chrome extension. Now, once you have the Chrome extension installed, you can actually come anywhere on the web. So if you're reading an article, if you are watching a YouTube video and you're looking at the transcript and you highlight it, you can actually highlight anywhere on the web and send it into a Buffer post or draft. So for this example, I'm actually going to show you this article here that I have. Now, this article is based on anchor piece number 4, which is all about building a second brain. And so I'm calling this article 4.1 because it's the first article that I'm creating related to this anchor piece. What I want to show you is how I can simply take a piece of this article, such as this section here, right? So I've got an article and I want to show you how you can break it down. So I'm highlighting the text, and now all I'm doing is going up here to this buffer Chrome extension, and you see I have a couple of options. I can create a new post from this text, or I can save this as an idea. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to go ahead and click Save Idea. Okay, so when we are ready to create our post, we can just go into Buffer. It takes us right to this page, which is really nice. So it creates the idea for us. I usually will just come in here really quickly, give it a quick title, a couple of other things you can do here, which is nice. You can add tags. I love adding tags anytime I can, because it's just going to help you organize. Okay. You can also, now the cool thing about this, we don't see it here, but if there is an image in the website that you're looking at, or whatever it is that you are bringing into Buffer from the Chrome extension, a lot of times it will actually add it here. A couple of other things I want to show you. If you come here, you can see some pretty cool integration. So you can actually create a Canva post right here if you want to add an image. You can use your Google Drive, Unsplash. So just make sure you take a look at that. You can add a GIF. They also have AI Assistant, which is really nice. So this, and by the way, Buffer, I'm using the free plan. I am on a trial. I'll most likely upgrade. It's a great price. I think it starts at like $5 a month. And for AI with that, it's really, really great. So here's just a couple of things you can do here. And when you're done, you have a couple of options. So you can save the idea or you can create a post. For now, I'm going to actually tag this as to do, and I'm just going to save it because I want to show you this feature here. So now you see it shows up on to do. This is very similar to what we saw in Notion. This is a board database. You can also switch this to gallery view, but I love the board view because it allows you to see the progression. Okay, so anything that's kind of just an idea is sitting over here. You can see these are all of my different tags. I have the Avas come in here and actually add content as well. And these are the posts that are in progress are pretty much ready to be posted. They just need to be scheduled or queued up. All the ones in to do need a little bit more editing. And then unassigned, those are ideas. You see there's even this button here to generate ideas, which is really cool. So I love this create section of Buffer because this is actually where I spend a lot of my time. While you're in here, if you come up with an idea, you can, of course, add a new idea. What I want to show you now is how to go from idea into creating a post. So I'm going to let's click on this one. So this is a short all about runway. And you see it has the Get AI Creative here because this is a short from our show. So now I'm just going to click the Create Post button. And this is one of the things that I love about Buffer is that you can connect lots of social media sites on here. Thing I love about Shorts is that Shorts can go on multiple social media sites. So I could put this on X, I can put it on LinkedIn, I can put this on Facebook, I can put this on Instagram. Okay, and so now the way that this works, you'll see each platform listed here. And the cool thing about this is that you can come into each of these and edit them. So this is new. Instagram no longer supports standard video posts. Videos will be published as reels. Okay, great. So you can choose whether to post it as a reel or a story. You see, you just click on each of these and then you'll be able to customize it for the platform, which is really nice. For LinkedIn, they allow you to write in the first comment, which is very common on LinkedIn. For X, you can even create a thread, which is really nice. So once you're ready, this is where it gets fun. So you can, of course, save this as a draft. You can even schedule the draft, but I would be very careful with that because I'm not sure if it actually posts at the time. Maybe not. Maybe it's just scheduled as a draft, but it won't actually post. I have accidentally published, so just be careful with that. But we're going to come here to this down button. There's a couple things you can do here. You can put this post up next. You can add it to the queue. Now, what adding it to the queue means is that if you already have posts scheduled ready to go, then it's going to add it. So it might not be scheduled for a couple days, depending on what your queue looks like. That's why you can say share next as well. You can also schedule it so you can decide what time you want it to post. I love using the add to queue feature because what the add to queue feature does, and I'll show you here in publish, is you can set up for each of the different platforms that you have connected. So you see these are all of the channels that I have connected. You can actually set up how often you want to post on each of these. So if I go to X, okay, you'll see this is our queue. And I have it set to post 4 times a day. So it's going to put it in the queue for whatever time is next to post. So for me, this is 4:13 p.m., which is really nice. Now you see there's even a button here to share. By the way, lots of team features here. So I have my Avas on here so they can create a draft and then I can come in and approve it. So really nice, different views here. So this is just for X that I'm looking at, okay? So you can go to each of your platforms and actually customize it for how often you want them posting. So for LinkedIn, I only have it twice a day, right? So you can customize this as much as you want and it's going to put it in the queue for you. You don't even have to schedule it. It will post it based on the times that your audience is most engaged, which is really nice. And again, you can always add more time to your queue. So if we come back out here, we can now see the full calendar, okay? And what you see here is this is the queue for the post that I just created. So you see this is ready to go at 4:13 on X, LinkedIn, ready to go at 5:30, and then on Instagram, it's set up to go at 6:07. Okay, now from this publish area, I can add new channels. I can even add a new post, and that's basically it here. Okay, now a couple of other things. I'm not going to go into the engage or start page too much because I'm really not using those. The engage is not connected to the accounts that I want it to be connected to, so I need to look into that more. But I do want to show you the analyze. Okay, so another thing that I really love about Buffer is this analysis page. I mean, this is incredible because it's putting all of the different social media platforms that you're connected to, as you can see here. So maybe not all of them because I don't see YouTube here. So maybe they're not able to actually get data, but you can see it totals it all up for you, which is really great. It even gives you data on recent posts. You see my Facebook post here, my X posts, and then it gives you an overview of the channels, which I like a lot. So I just kind of wanted to show you that. If you come over here, there's a couple of other things you can see, different integrations. Of course, make sure you get that browser extension. Definitely recommend downloading the iOS app or the Android app because again, if you're on your phone and you see content, you can actually send it to Buffer from the app, or sorry, from wherever you are. And if you're in the app, you can plan, you can do so much. Make sure you come over here, just click the different buttons. You can create your team, refer a friend, all of that. So that's Buffer, super easy to use. I hope you get into it. Again, my favorite is this create side because it's just great for ideating. So have fun scheduling your content. Okay, in this video, I just want to give a review of Glasp. So this is another super important tool when it comes to organizing our content, sending content that we find on the internet, even if it's our own content, sending it into Notion. So this is Glasp. This is another Chrome extension. So make sure you download the Chrome extension. It's incredible. One of my favorite ways to use it is when I'm on YouTube. And if you have the Chrome extension downloaded, you can actually get the full transcript from the video. So a lot of these are YouTube videos. And the way these videos ended up in here is because I highlighted the transcript, which I'll show you in a moment. But once you do that, once you're watching the video, you highlight the transcript, the video automatically shows up in your highlights, which is great So you know you've kept it and saved it for later. A couple of things I want to show you in here. You can ask your clone. They have this like digital twin thing where you can ask questions about your highlights, which is pretty like a mini knowledge base. Make sure that you're using tags. So you see these are the different tags that I'm using here. So for each of these videos, like I might give this one the YouTube tag. And the other thing I wanted to show you all is that you can integrate this with Notion, which is really, really great. So if you come over here, you can go to integrations and API. Now, what this allows you to do is every time you come across an article, a video, a highlight, you can very easily, with just one click of a button, send it to Notion. So you'll want to come in here to your integrations, scroll down, and just click this button to export. Now, the other thing you'll need to do in the Notion side is actually create a new page and a database. So I called mine the Glasp database. And then you'll just look for that when you're making the connection. So once you have that integrated, we'll come in here to highlights. And now the really cool thing about this is that you're able to come to this share button here and export right to Notion. Now there's a couple of other things I want to show you for the rest of this video. So I'm going to show you how to actually save the highlights from the video. And then I'm going to show you what this looks like when you actually integrate it into Notion. Okay, so I'm kind of showing you this a little bit backwards because normally you would be on YouTube first and send it here, but I also want to show you how you can go the other way. So if we click the open link button, it will take us right into the YouTube video. Now, let's say you started here, you're watching this video, you can come here, and this is where the transcript summary is going to be. Okay, so you'll know that you have your Glasp Chrome extension downloaded because you'll see it here. You can get the entire transcript here. Now, what's nice about this is when you highlight a part of the transcript, it will actually show up in Glasp, and then you can integrate this into Notion to keep it. Okay, so we can just come over here and highlight. I'm just highlighting a random section. Click on the color that you want. Now, when we go back to Glasp, you're going to see that this highlight is automatically there. Another thing we want to be able to do with this transcript is to be able to repurpose it. So in previous videos, I show you how to actually use the Text Makeover tool to copy the entire transcript, stick it in the Text Makeover tool, and completely repurpose it. But for now, what we're going to do is actually go back to Glasp and see if our highlight has shown up. Now, if we did this the other way and started in the video and did the highlight first, it should be there. And now if we go back, you see the highlight is here. So it wasn't here a moment ago, now it's here. And again, I can come to this share button and integrate this with Notion. And the final thing I want to show you is what it actually looks like in Notion. So we'll just export and then click the Notion button. Okay, so the final step in this process is to actually make over the transcript if you would like, and you can repurpose this into all kinds of content. So I'm using the Text Makeover GPT here. As you can see, I just came in, I pasted the entire transcript that we got from YouTube using the Glasp tool. And then what it does here is really cool. It's going to clean up the entire transcript and do what I call the makeover. So it's going to give it chapter titles, give each chapter a summary, and actually clean up the transcript. Because when we get the transcript, it's like one run-on sentence. There's no grammar, no punctuation. So this cleans it up really nicely. But the best thing about this is the end. Once it cleans the entire transcript up, it will ask you if you'd like to turn this into repurposed content. So there's so much you can do here. You can create a course, a guide, social media posts and articles. You can create multiple things from this transcript. Keep this thread, save it, name it, and then of course make sure that you're copying and pasting into that Notion page that I just told you about so that you keep everything nice and tidy, nice and organized.